This is the Bestway Power Steel, round above ground, outdoor backyard swimming pool set. Just looking at it set up in my yard, you can see how much space it offers. With its round shape and brown wicker pattern, it really brings out that stylish, cozy backyard vibe. I want to jump right into a quick review and share my own experience. So if you're like me, always searching for something reliable and fun for the family, stay with me. Honestly, I started considering an upgrade for our old pool because my kids had grown and they wanted more room to play around with friends during summer. When I came across this Bestway Power Steel pool, what stood out was that it wasn't just another above-ground pool. It promised extra durability and easy setup, two things that really matter if you've ever spent half your day trying to get a pool ready with restless kids bouncing around. Key features that caught my eye were the size and strength. This pool is 14 feet across and 42 inches deep, which is plenty deep for kids to swim and stand safely, and wide enough for a family gathering. The round shape also helps distribute the water's pressure evenly, which just makes sense for keeping the pool stable and strong. This kind of stability is important if you want a pool that lasts more than one summer. Building this pool was pretty straightforward from my experience. I was a little anxious about assembly at first, worried it would require a bunch of tools or end up being complicated, especially with a steel frame. But Bestway has this seal and lock system, which basically means the steel pieces click and lock together. There's no need for extra screws or worrying about metal scraping against metal, which could cause rust over time. I found I was able to get everything set up with just some help from my oldest kid, and we actually enjoyed the process. The instructions were super clear, so even if this is your first time with an above-ground pool, you shouldn't feel overwhelmed. Setting up the liner was also a breeze. The pool comes with a Tritech liner. Basically, it's a 3-layer material reinforced to be much tougher than standard pool liners. Bestway claims it's 15% more tear-resistant, 33% more stretch-resistant, and 83% more puncture-resistant compared to typical PVC. Honestly, it feels very sturdy to the touch, and after a summer of use, there are no signs of stretching or punctures even though the kids have thrown in all kinds of toys. I'd recommend this for families with active kids or dogs who sometimes take a dip with you. Included in the box is a 1,000 gallon per hour filter pump, a ladder, and a pool cover. That's everything you need to start enjoying the pool right away without making multiple runs to the store. I found the pump to be decent for normal use, and it's easy enough for a beginner to install. You just connect the included hoses, and that's it. The filter isn't industrial level strong, but for residential use, especially if you're cleaning the pool regularly, it gets the job done. If you plan to have large gatherings or just want extra clear water, consider upgrading the filter later. About the ladder, it's metal and feels secure, giving everyone an easy way in and out. My parents even joined for a swim and had no trouble using the ladder, so it's safe for all ages. The pool cover is a big help when keeping out leaves and bugs, especially if you have trees around your yard like I do. It's not just about convenience. It also helps keep the pool water cleaner for longer and makes the pump's job easier. The full capacity is about 2,941 gallons, but to be safe, I fill it to around 90%, which is recommended. That amount packs in a lot of water and really makes swimming much more enjoyable. The walls feel robust, you can lean against them without any wobble, and the bottom is thick and comfortable underfoot. I have peace of mind when several kids and adults are in the pool at once, because it never feels like it's struggling to hold them. One thing I was unsure about before buying was how well this pool would hold up against rust and weather, because our area can be humid, and I've seen other steel pools fail after a couple of seasons. This pool has a special corrosion-resistant coating on the frame, which has really proven itself so far. I make sure to store it properly during the winter and drain everything as instructed, and there's been no sign of rust or wear. Setting up does take some time, not going to sugarcoat it, especially the initial fill, since you're dealing with thousands of gallons of water. If you're using a regular garden hose, plan for it to be a slow process. It took me the better part of an afternoon, so just plan for that and maybe set up early in the day if you want to swim by evening. If you're new to pools, the ChemConnect dispenser included is worth mentioning. It helps you add chlorine or other chemicals and disperses them evenly throughout the water to keep everything safe and clean. As someone who isn't a pool chemistry expert, I found this little gadget super helpful because I just pop in the right chemical tab and it does the work for me. Maintenance after setup is pretty simple. I usually skim out any leaves with a net, check the filter every couple of days, and that's it. It really doesn't take a lot to keep this pool looking great. The most important thing is to always use the pool cover when not swimming, and make sure to drain and dry everything completely before storing it away for the season. That way, your pool will actually last year after year. In my opinion, this pool is perfect for families who want a hassle-free setup and something that looks good in their backyard. It's also a great pick for anyone who isn't super handy with tools because assembly is approachable, especially if you follow the instructions step by step. The price feels reasonable, especially considering you get all the essentials in one package, and the durability is solid. One minor gripe: the included filter pump is functional, but not super powerful. So if you're really picky about crystal clear water, or you want to use the pool constantly, it might make sense to invest in a stronger pump later on. The initial fill also takes patience, but I think that's true with any above-ground pool of this size. In conclusion, from my experience, the Bestway Power Steel 14 by 42-inch round above-ground outdoor backyard swimming pool set really lives up to its claims on durability, ease of setup, and overall value. As I sit by the pool with my kids splashing around, I have no regrets about choosing this model. If you're considering an above-ground pool for your own backyard, I definitely recommend this for anyone who wants reliability, good looks, and enough space for the whole family and some friends. That wraps up my quick review. I will leave all the information about the Bestway Power Steel round above-ground outdoor backyard swimming pool set in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.